Welcome everybody to Totally Experts. He's Sap, I'm Shane. We love football here. And when school starts, that means high school football is right around the corner. So we talked about this, and I don't know, we didn't talk about like what we were going to be, how deep we were going into it. But I'll tell you what I just did is I went through and I picked a preseason winner for each class.
Well, let's just start off with 1A. I'm sure it's Page High School for you.
It is not Page High School. By God, if they were 1A, I'd have them down for it.
Yeah. All right. So for real, 1A. I'm gonna start out with 1A. Anybody?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead.
Go, what?
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. I list. There's no surprises on any of these picks. Okay, because my thinking is on these until somebody steps up and overtakes them. These are who it's going to be. So 1A South Fifth.
Yeah, that's the only person. That's the only place I wrote down. I can't even think anybody else who I think can beat them. Yeah. Who can? I mean, I don't even know who they beat or who they played in the state championship game last year.
I couldn't even tell you that either.
I know who they lost the year before, and I can't remember who beat them. Was it like a Memphis team or something? I don't know. I don't think anybody touches them in 1A.
Like I told you before, maybe it was last year before, until I started working up there with you, I'd never even heard of South Pittsburgh.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, never even heard of them. So
they're the Clark Range of football.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know that I'd ever heard of Clark Range until I moved up here.
Get out of here! It's unbelievable. You live under a rock, son.
Evidently. All right. So 2A, I got Marion County. Now they are not the defending champs. I had a heartbreaking loss.
But you think Marion's gonna win the state championship?
But I think they're going to be trying to avenge that last year's loss. So I'm going Marion County.
Okay. Well, so for 2A, I wrote down Huntington, which is who beat them.
Yep, that's right.
And I had Marion down.
So you went either or.
Well, I was just talking about some favorites.
Okay.
I wasn't going to pick a state champ in that. Obviously, I would like to see Marion County do it because. But the other team I put down here is Bledsoe. I don't think that they if they can get, because they were one game away from getting to that Final Four last year. Do I think they're better than Marion County? I don't. But if you can get to that Final Four game, get to the semifinal matchup against Marion County, you never know what can happen in a single game scenario. It would be. I mean, my gosh, the gate on that game would be massive because Bledsoe's never been to a semifinal playoff game before. They're an hour away from each other, 45 minutes. That'd be a bit in the same region, I mean, that'd be a big time matchup if Bledsoe can get over the hump there and get to that semifinal game. They were real close last year, lost to that Eagleton Academy team. Had to travel all the way up there. But I don't see Bledsoe winning the state championship, but if they get to that Final Four game, that'd be huge for them. But I do think it's a repeat of last year, Marion and Huntington. And yeah.
Gotcha. Now, real quick timeout. You said earlier it had been a long time since you've been to a high school football game. Let me tell you, the last few that I've been to, buddy, you better get there early, or you ain't getting a seat. You're leaning up against the fence if you don't get there early.
Yeah, I don't want to sit down anyways.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. So,
well, you going up there to Upman where they have? That's where you be. Or are you going to Monterey to watch a football game?
No, I ain't going to Monterey. No, I mean Upperman is like I said. I've told you before, from my back porch, I can hear the PA. And then and then White County, same thing. If unless you get there early, you're leaning up against the fence, which that's fine. Stretch your legs a little bit. 3A, defending champ, Westview.
Westview. That's what I wrote down was Westview.
Yeah, Simpson there, quarterback. A good running back too, whose name has slipped my mind for the moment. But yeah, they're just until somebody beats them. So Westview's who you got?
Yeah, Westview's who I got.
All right. Now, 4A, I always say every year when Tennessee beats Kentucky, death, taxes, and beating Kentucky. Okay. Well, 4A is death, taxes, and Alcoa winning the state championship. Until somebody else does it.
I did
That's
put
who I've
down. I
got.
did put down a little pearl cone right here as somebody to
Okay.
watch.
Okay. What is it? 19 state championships?
I don't know.
It's a ridiculous amount.
Before I
whatever
moved
it
here,
is.
I'd never heard of Alcoa before, so
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely. Even in Dixon County, I had heard of Alcoa. Okay, I just never heard of South Pittsburgh.
I've lived 10 minutes from where I live right now my whole life, so I don't know. I've not moved anywhere, really.
5A, my favorite. Page,
You
defending
think
champs.
you think Paige does it?
Yep.
Are
think-
they the defending champs?
Yeah, they finally broke through last year. I'd like to take a little bit of credit for that for my little snafu last year. Now that they kind of broke through, I think they're going to keep it going.
I got Sevier County written down and Page.
Yep. And Page.
Them two.
And if you on 6A, if you've got anybody other than Oak,
I've got Oakland first, then I've got Ravenwood, and I've got Maryville.
okay, I got Oak.
Three teams to watch in 6A.
Yeah.
All right, division.
Do
you do any Division 2? I got some Division 2.
I did.
Okay.
Of all the classifications, all 6 of them, I picked the defending champion except for 2A with Marion.
Yeah.
So
really going out on a limb
some,
here. Hot takes.
So I told you.
Hot takes and hot cakes out here.
It's one of those things until somebody beats them. Like, that's what it is, you know? I like when every year they're like, when Saban was at Alabama, every year at the SEC media days, it's like, who's going to win? Pick Alabama until somebody beats them. You just pick Alabama.
Yeah, what if Page graduated 20 starters that you don't know about?
Then maybe, but that's what I'm going with.
All right.
We'll see.
All right, Division 2.
Division
1A.
2, Asheville Christian.
Yeah, that's what I got down.
Even though Curtis is gone over at Vanderbilt, which, he's probably going to regret.
I don't think so.
He's going to have a world-class education.
If you're getting paid and getting a world-class education, you'll be all right. May not win a lot of football games, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and we're going to get to our, in a later episode, we're going to get to our college and stuff, but
we're a month away from the start of college football. We gotta pump the brakes on that. We're 2 weeks away from high school football. So I mean, we're a little early here.
Andy's coming back down to reality this year. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. 2A, Division 2, who you got?
BGA.
BGA. Yeah.
That's Battleground Academy for those of you who do not know.
Yeah. All right. Now 3A. This is what D2, 3A. Do you have more than one written down?
I've got 3.
Okay. Tell me your 3.
Baylor.
Okay.
Macaulay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Brentwood over there.
Okay.
To the side.
Brentwood Academy.
Yes.
So who of those 3, if you had to pick today, do you think will win the state championship?
Baylor.
I think it's going to be Baylor. This is my one pick that is kind of out there. I went Brentwood Academy.
Okay.
I think they're going to beat them. It was a close state championship game last year.
Yeah.
But also, side note, 2 weeks. What is today's date? The 8th?
Yeah.
Okay. So 12 days from today, on a Thursday night, Baylor is hosting Brentwood Academy. And it will be televised on ESPN2.
Is that who they're
Early
playing?
Season matchup. Yep. ESPN2.
I thought they was playing
Big
somebody
time.
else. No, it's big time for sure. You want to do a simulcast?
We could do a Spanish announce. I'll get the Duolingo, and maybe we can get Miss Aponte on here too. And
yeah,
that's crazy. A big time. That's big time. when you were talking about how it's been a long time since you've been to a football game, high school football game, that is one that would be fun. But I don't know that you could pay me. You know how many eyes are going to be on that place? So,
It's at Baylor
yeah.
in Chattown.
Now that BGG is committed to Tennessee, you're going to have some extra orange clad people there.
Yeah. You got that sponsorship deal with Adidas.
Yeah. So, and was it you that said that Baylor has swapped to Adidas? Yeah. So
I was just on their website. I don't know if it says it. I don't know if it says it on their website or not, but
yeah. So yeah, high school football getting started, and it's gonna be fun. I've said this to me and my wife have talked about this. For Chloe, and you can speak to this as well. One thing that I do, and hate's a strong word, but one thing I wish we did have Friday night lights at our school, because some of the best memories ever, man, in high school is Friday night. You have the pep rally, and then you have and then there's usually like a little get together afterwards or something like that.
Yeah, you almost feel like the kids are like missing out on an integral part of high school, coming from somewhere that's had football. That
yes,
you just kind of feel like
the pep rallies, man.
Dude, let me tell you. Let me tell you about a pep rally we had at Bledsoe County High School when we played Sequatchie one year. All right, we're in the auditorium. All right, the whole student body's in the auditorium. Yeah. They kill the lights. Okay, black lights everywhere. Everything's glowing, and the cheerleaders are wearing these. The cheerleaders come in their uniforms, but they got these. They're not capes, but that's what I thought they were when they were then. They're kind of like I want one so bad. What's the word I'm looking for? A cloak. They come in these black cloaks. Jesus.
Time out.
What?
Why do you want a cloak?
Bro, because like I read so many fantasy books and everybody's got cloaks, and I just want one so bad.
Have you found one on Poshmark?
No, I've not looked. I'm never gonna buy one because I'm not gonna wear it, but I want one to go cosplay in, bro. What are you talking about? You imagine me and Mr. Key in cloaks, sword fighting with our lightsabers?
Promise me, if you ever win a state championship, you're gonna have like a maroon and gold cloak for post game.
Post game. So, anyways, the cheerleaders come into these cloaks and they're holding candles.
Okay.
So we're doing a funeral, right? They got a casket and everything. Some of the football players are carrying the casket in. Yeah. All while Hell's Bells is playing.
Nice.
And then, they set the casket down up there on the stage or whatever, and they're saying these things. And one of our senior football players busts open Undertaker style out of it with a Sequatchie County jersey on and just rips it off.
Yeah.
And I remember being like a freshman, and I'm like, "It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's the best day of my life."
13-year-old freshman, I was like, "This thing is awesome. WWE's here," But no, it was really cool. The principal was a little unhappy about the song choice. Of course, how principals are. Oh,
AC/DC that they probably listened to when they were growing up.
Oh, too. For sure. And how people are about music, though, especially old ones. My principal when I was in high school, his name was Mr. Nipper. Okay, and I can't remember if it was him or the other one. I'll tell you off air the reason why they were so upset with the song, but
okay.
We were in the gym one time giving an assembly, and the whole thing, you don't have your boots on the floor, right? Well, this joker, he wore cowboy boots every day, and the podium's like in the middle of the gym I'm about to say the 50-yard line, but at half court, and he walks out there to the podium, and then realizes that he has his boots on, and he turns around and walks off, takes them off, and then walks back in his bare socks to give the speech. So, hey, you practice what you preach there. So that was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool. But that's one of my biggest. That's one things I remember about him. And then also the other one was like, it's the biggest class we've ever had at Bledsoe County High School. Every freshman class was the biggest class we've ever had.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got off on a tangent there.
Well, no, let me tell you. So, growing up in Dixon County, we had one high school, and it was huge, like huge student body. Each grade was several hundred kids. Well over 14,000, 1,400 in the whole school, And then when they built the second high school, I had to go there because where I live, and there was like a few year gray area where you were allowed to stay here. So the first few years at the new high school wasn't as big as what it is now. But even still, the pep rallies, each grade is in their section. There's kids everywhere. Freshmen are getting, they back then they called the freshmen the dips. I don't know why they called us dips, but all the seniors would be doing like the dip thing, and so that was cool. You're like, oh, I'm getting roasted. But the same thing, like lights are going off and everything. And then we did this thing in Dixon County that when I would tell people up here, they'd be like, never heard of that. So homecoming, it was a whole week event.
Yes.
And you would build floats for a parade on homecoming day, and each grade got a float, and there was a theme each year and stuff. And so, like after school, everybody just went out by the football field in the parking lot, worked on the floats. During class, you'd be rolling the little paper mache or whatever it is. And then on Friday, you came to school, decked out whatever it was you were doing, because there's usually some kind of theme. And your parents would come if they wanted to. They would take roll. We would all go to the gym, have the pep rally. School's dismissed for the whole day after that. And then you would have the parade. And then everybody comes back later for the football game. And it was just a big old time.
Yeah, we didn't have a parade, but we had Spirit Week was all week thing. They had games where you compete. We had a powder puff football match where girls playing against each. It wasn't just one day, son. I mean, it was all week. We had activities, and you had to, and you competed against each other and all that good stuff. And it wasn't just who's the loudest, get the spirit stick. Like you competed all week for that thing, and got points for it.
Yeah.
Based on how well you did in the competitions and stuff.
Exactly. And there was like a class could win at the end and get the spirit stick.
Yeah.
And all, my first year where we're at, they were like, oh, yeah, homecoming prep rally. I had no clue what to expect. And then logistically, I got to thinking, why are we having this pep rally at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the seniors get to leave at 1:30? I was like, this already doesn't make any sense. And then I go in there, and there's like 25% of what the student body population is in there. And I'm like, and we're in there, and we're doing like air mattress races.
Yeah. Now I'm like, it's fun games and it's fun stuff, but like, I don't know, like I don't know what else you do to get the kid. Like it's just, it's just a different time. Like the kids that don't play just don't care. Like it didn't like when we were in school. Like you had those kids. You always had those kids, but the majority of the kids like cared if we beat Dunlap or not.
Yeah.
I mean that was our big rivalry. Cared if we beat Dunlap. Cared if we won homecoming. Where now it's just like, eh.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess you're right. I mean, too, and I think.
And I don't know how you get those kids that kind of like in the middle back involved and back to what, because I mean, like my freshman year, son, we probably had 90 kids in the student section. Everywhere we went, we were called the Bleacher Creatures, had T-shirts, everything. I mean, it was so fun. It was rocking. And then like those seniors that were kind of in charge graduated, and then it kind of just trickled on down from there.
Yeah.
But my freshman year, man, that thing was popping.
Do you think it's a thing where like, how can I say this? Everything is driven towards being positive and not being, negative and mean and I mean, where like it's just kind of taking the fun out of having that animosity. You know what I mean?
No, I don't necessarily think it's that. I mean, I still have animosity towards Dunlap right now.
Yeah.
And I know that some of my kids had animosity towards the teams that we played. So I don't necessarily think it's that. I just think like we did. I honestly, do you want my honest, real opinion here? We didn't have
Yeah.
anything else to do, so we did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's okay. That's true.
I can't pull up TikTok on my Nokia. The only thing I can do is play
Yeah.
Snake, so I might as well go over here and
Thanks.
stand
Yeah.
and cheer.
Right. Right.
I couldn't bring my computer outside because it was a freaking Color Mac. I couldn't have
Yeah.
towed it around. Did you have Color Macs in
Yeah.
your school?
No.
I didn't know if you had.
Um.
I didn't know if y'all had PCs or Color Macs because that was all we had
Uh.
was those
No.
little whole unit Macs that were all the different colors and stuff.
Uh. Buddy, I don't even remember computers.
He was born before the computer was invented.
I remember like I do remember each class would have like the old school one computer in the corner you could do Oregon Trail on.
Yeah,
Um, that's about the extent of what I remember from computers when I was in school.
but yeah,
Um,
I just think there's so much more things for these kids to do. That why
yeah,
do I want to go to a pep rally when I don't play?
right.
That's my honest
Also,
opinion.
going back to the animosity or the lack thereof, and not caring, these kids these days are friends with people at
Oh no, I
other
can't be.
schools
Yeah, I can't have that.
versus when we were growing up, we had no like I lived in White Bluff. The town next to us was Charlotte. We hated Charlotte. Charlotte hated us. And it's like, that was just the thing. And you didn't know anybody there because we weren't connected.
Well, I'll
Now
tell you,
everybody's
we
connected
knew.
with TikTok and Instagram. And
So we knew people that went to Dunlap because this is a very weird thing, and I don't know that you know this or not. Is I think up until I got into high school, so I think my 8th grade year was the last year they did it. We shared a vocational school with Sequatchie County. It was down the valley, halfway in between. It's in Bledsoe County, but it's halfway in between both of our schools. And half the classes were Sequatchie County kids, half the classes were Bledsoe County kids. And then Sequatchie County built their own vocational school. And then my whole high school career, they bussed us. Our vocational classes were 40 minutes less than other classes because we spent 20 minutes on the bus, down and back.
yeah,
So, we knew some people from Dunlap because of that. But no, they wouldn't know we friends on Facebook or MySpace back then. We ain't
yeah.
ain't none of this stuff of, like I mean,
Snapping people over there. Because I know, like, our kids are snapping kids in Sparta and snapping kids in
we had
Bledsoe. And,
one of my kids told me this year that they had a girl on the other team that we played tell her good luck tonight. Like, are we
yeah,
joking?
that's crazy.
There is no chance.
Yeah.
I mean, if me
Well,
and you
I mean,
right now if me and you was about to play some video game 1-on-1,
yeah.
I would be looking to rip your heart out and make you cry.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you remember we went to, and now this is a little bit different. We went up to Coalfield, and then when they came down here, their cheer.
Hey,
That guy has a beach towel out there, man. He's got a not. Yeah, he does. He's out there with his beach towel.
he said some
Like
very choice
three.
words about our beautiful little town.
I know. He had 3 coaches get teed up. I mean, his own players were having to tell his coaches to sit down and shut up. Anyway, I digress. Their cheerleaders
I might have to clip the
were
beach towel.
their cheerleaders were like cheering on one of our players, one of our boys. Now they just probably because they thought he was cute, but even still, like that didn't happen back in the day.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, it is crazy how different things are
That's
now.
just the information era, man. You just got so much more
Yeah.
access to it. You know people. And and that's I know
Yeah.
this is not what we had intended to talk about whatsoever. It just kind of got here, but
Yeah.
also back to our last episode of the TWSAA recruiting violations. Like, one of them is an adult asking a kid to ask that kid to move up here. Well, like, what if that happens without the adult being involved? Because that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah, that's
it's just what's going to happen because
yeah,
everybody's
we're
social media
so
friends.
yeah, everybody's so interconnected that you see. I mean, it would take me for instance. Well, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like I'm friends on Facebook or whatever with a lot of other coaches,
Yeah.
and so I see what they're doing. I know when they're having practice, or I know when they're doing their little media days, or when they're doing this, that, and the other. And you know, me and Roger over there at White County are buddies. But I'm sure if he watches this, he would know that when we played each other this year, I was. That's probably the night I was the most intense, especially with our girls, and yelled at some of them pregame because I was so fired up because I wanted that win.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we went back to being buddies.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, I mean, like, it's, I mean, I've got a lot of people that I don't, but, I've got a lot of people that,
yeah,
like, I do like that I coach against and try to help and this, that, and the other. But when it's go time, son, it's go time.
yeah,
We ain't doing none of that. And that's, and that's, that was that was one of my things I remember my mama saying all the time when I was playing PTO basketball and stuff. Now your little buddy over there, he's on the other team. Y'all be buddies after the game's over with. Y'all ain't
yeah,
buddies out
yeah.
there on the court. I
I know.
clear as day hear her telling me that in first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, every
Right.
single time. And but I mean, anybody that we play, like the other coach, I'll give them film, whatever. I know we've talked about this before. I don't care to help in any way possible, but when we tip off against each other, it's I want to win, and they do too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I consider Dodging one of my buddies. I mean, he may not consider me one no more, but had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like
We'll see.
I
Come
still want
Thanksgiving or
to
Christmas or
beat him,
whenever.
huh?
Yeah.
I
I
still
said
want,
whenever
yeah.
Thanksgiving or Christmas, whenever it is y'all are playing.
Well, we're going to
We'll
their
see.
Christmas tournament this year too. So
Okay, Christmas. Yeah.
but I think we play before Christmas too. But I want to beat him.
I remember you saying something because last year it was it after,
But we played both times after Christmas. Yeah.
and that first game the girls weren't in it. Yeah, but so because I remember you saying something like it's before Christmas, so at least they won't be off as much.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. Now there's a few that I ain't helping. There's a few that I'm not helping. I'll just be straight up, brutally honest. I am not. Now that none of them are in my region, but I ain't helping them. You know who they are. I ain't doing.
I know. I'll help anybody. Don't care.
No, they can kick rocks.
Because you know what happens with that is
What?
then they tell people not to help you, this, that, and the other. Then you've got bad karma, bad voodoo, and then this stuff that happens and how you wind up in middle school is because you got all this negative karma.
No, maybe they do tell people, but then those people interact with me, and we got no problems.
Yeah.
Because there is someone in our region that is buddies with the one out of region. I was worried about that and have no problems out of them.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll send anybody that asks me, I'll send. Now, there is one exception to that. Is if I've asked you and you didn't send me anything, it's going to be a little while before I send you something, maybe a year.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not, and I don't like all this stuff of, because, like a lot of these times, hey, let's not share that film with anybody. No. Because what if I need film from that guy? And I got to trade it here and there and yonder. I mean, Speaking of trading film, man, Huddle's fantastic. Because, I never had to deal with anything like Coach Sullivan had to deal with, but, he used to have to drive and meet people and get VHSs to watch film or DVDs. Had to burn that stuff, and now you don't have to do that. So that's a good thing in all this information era that we're in. But
yes, I have been blessed with meeting people that have been willing to send film. This year, I told you about this. I had just a nightmare with film on our end. So I'm hoping to come up with a new strategy
Well,
for
you
that
see,
coming up
ladies
this
and
year.
gentlemen, it was because he was not around when the computer was invented. So he,
Dude, look, it was so bad. The company that we used gave me all my money back.
yeah.
So,
And I used the same
I,
company. I
I
had no problems. I had a few
yeah,
problems like that, but not like everything.
and see, I don't understand 'cause it's not like the basketball games are any longer than the football games. Um, the files weren't. I don't know, but we're gonna figure something out. It would be. This is going back to the football thing. If we had a football team and had a Huddle account, where I could upload it through Huddle, it would probably be a whole lot easier.
Yeah, but Huddle's
Because
expensive.
that's what I'm saying. If we had a football program to already have it, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you're right, it's expensive. Like if I just add it, you're looking at like $1,500 to $2,000 just for me to add it.
Yeah, I mean, we were paying like $5,000 a year for the boys and girls
it ain't
basketball
worth
team to
it.
have it. And it ain't worth that.
No.
I'd rather have new uniforms every year for 5,000 for 5 Gs.
Yeah.
Or have a third uniform, have like a Pankin or something.
Yeah. Y'all's uniforms are pretty slick.
Yeah, they are.
So hey, one more thing before we get out of here tonight. Me and you talked about this in person, but we haven't talked about it since it happened on here. NCAA suspending Tennessee linebacker Arion Carter for what was 3 games has now been taken down to 2. For those of you who, like you said earlier, living under a rock don't know, a $400 something plane ticket that his agent bought for him so he could go through the pre-draft process, and he ended up needing a medical procedure, withdrew from the NFL draft, and then paid the agent back out of his own money. And now the NCAA is cracking down on it. Before I give my thoughts, what's yours?
I mean, that's NCAA doing what they do. There's my thoughts. Stupid.
There you go. It's stupid. Yeah, I was like, where's it at? It is absolutely asinine. Okay, ridiculous. I know me and you talked about this, so this is a repeat that you're hearing from me.
Yeah.
But you've got a guy at Alabama who was playing in the G League of the NBA, come back and now is playing college basketball. Everything he did up until the taking the $400 something, even up to that point, if he'd went through the pre-draft process and not need the procedure, he's good. He is allowed to start that draft process. So I guess he should have just paid for it himself, but he didn't think he was coming back. But in college basketball, everything he did, including taking the $400 something, is legal, but in football, it's not. It's a 19, and I'm not saying the rule is from 1997, but this 1997 thinking that the NCAA has does not work in 2026.
No.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely
I mean, I think
ridiculous.
it's stupid, and I would think it was stupid if it was a guy on Ohio State or
yes. Mm-hmm.
Alabama.
If we're talking about a linebacker from Alabama, and you know I hate everything about Alabama, but I would still say it's stupid and absolutely it's just the NCAA trying to say, hey, look, hey, we have a little bit of power still, guys. Look at us over here. We got a little bit of power still. No, you don't. I was watching. I don't know. You know who Josh Pate is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was watching him yesterday, and he said, if I'm Josh Heupel, Heupel's already had a press conference and said a word that I can't say on here, said the decision was BS. But he said, if I'm Josh Heupel, and I think Danny White would be behind him, is what he said. We go out there that first game against Furman, which you don't need Arion Carter for Furman. But you go out there in that first game, you know what? Arion Carter, you're in. Let's see what happens. He said, because if you're already dropping in a media interview that you think their ruling is BS, that already tells me you don't respect them. So call them for it. See what they're going to do.
Yeah, what are they going to do about it?
Yeah. So, I mean, at least it's just Furman and Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Still, you hate to see that guy lose 2 games.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was 3, and then they already lowered it. Why'd you lower it? Did you recognize that maybe it was too harsh? No, if you're going to do it, own it.
That's true.
You know,
make it if
just
you think it's 3 games, make it be 3 games. Don't be backtracking.
I would
now.
respect it more if they just said it's 3 games and that's that. But because they said it's 3, okay, fine, 2. Well, now you're second guessing yourself.
Yeah, true.
So, you got anything else for us tonight?
No, you still reading 7th and 8th grade Tennessee history or world hit whatever it is instead of Dungeon Crawler Carl or
brother? Oh,
are you reading Fahrenheit 451 for RTI?
I kept you out of the loop on a lot of that. So I was prepping the first part of the summer
for Bible history or for government.
Well, I was going to do Bible history. I was prepping that, but I was also prepping to take a praxis. Okay, because
yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was doing that. So then they said, "Well, no, it's not going to be that." So then I was like, "Okay, well, I'm losing Bible history, but I'm picking up government." So now I started prepping for the praxis on that. And so then it was, well, now I'm doing middle school, 7th and 8th grade U.S. world history. So yeah, now I'm in that. Not a little bit of the 451, but mostly, if I'm being honest, I'm mostly just doing the history stuff. Just
that's what fair.
Get my ducks in a row. Because like I told my wife today, like I feel ready, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I could be more ready. So yeah, I have Dungeon Crawler Carl is still halfway read and laying on the fireplace in our bedroom.
You're gonna have to restart it, son. You ain't gonna remember what happened.
Yeah, I know.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
Well, you think the good thing about teaching history is it never changes. It's the same because it's history, but apparently not.
That's right. No, well, the facts remain.
Yeah.
But what they want you to do is what changes.
Yeah.
And
I got you.
I will be doing tested subjects now versus I have only been doing non-tested subjects. So.
Yeah. Good old TCAP, son.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
So, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it our best try, buddy.
There you go. Well, I'm reading Throne of Glass. Okay. You can tell your wife I'm reading that. I'm sure she's read it.
Okay. Probably.
I'm tandem reading book 6 and 7.
You read both at the same time?
Yes.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, so I'll read like 2 or 3 chapters in one, and then read a chapter in one, then come back to this one because they happen on the same timeline or during the same timeline. Like one book's just going on over here in this area, and then this one's going on over here in this area.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I have found out though, and I kind of already knew this anyway. Nonfiction is where I need to be. This fiction and fantasy stuff, it's a good book. Don't get me wrong, it's entertaining, but I'm not flying through it like I am with other stuff.
Yeah, God forbid you fly through a Bill O'Reilly book.
Or Clay Travis book.
I mean, good God.
I am in the middle of killing Reagan by Bill O'Reilly. So.
How do you just stop in the middle of something and go read another book?
You're tandem reading 2 books. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, but no. The 2 books in the same universe. You're halfway into Dungeon Crawler Carl and halfway into Killing Reagan.
Yeah.
And halfway through the Tennessee World History 7th grade book.
Well, the Reagan book I took with me to the beach when we went because it's hardback. I didn't want to take a paperback on the beach and get wet and stuff, so I took the hardback. And I got halfway through it just in those couple days. But on book related, I did go see the new Spider-Man movie. Fantastic, best Spider-Man movie, or at least for Tom Holland.
Yeah, that's what Callan was telling me today, and he said that Gail said it sucked. So I said we don't listen to her opinions about superhero movies.
It did not suck. It was the best one that he's done. So
yeah,
that's leading us to.
I love Spider-Man.
Yes, that's leading us to the Doomsday.
I'll catch it in about 9-10 months when it comes out on streaming.
When it's streaming, yeah, that's right. All right, well, I think that's all we've got for tonight. I think we covered it. So, if you have got anything else?
I'm good.
Sap and Shane, that's Totally Experts. Till next time, peace.
See ya.